Our spokesmodel doesn't have great genes. In fact, her genetics have made her kinda stupid and inferior. She's out of control, unruly, difficult to live with. These jeans don't even fit her well, and she's awkward in them. Because a body like hers, well, it's tough to find clothes that fit. Because our spokesperson is a dog. American Beagle Jeans. The jeans for real dogs. Welcome to Mark Mosley Show. I'm Mark Mosley. You see what I did there, right? I created ad copy that was written so that it has a possible double meaning. You could take it either way. It's called clever writing. I don't know, maybe that's what some people are really mad about with this Sydney Sweeney ad. Maybe a lot of these people are just jealous because somebody wrote some clever ad copy. By the way, thanks to the left for making her famous. I never heard of this girl before last week. I don't watch Euphoria or Handmaid's Tale. I had no clue as to who she was, but I hope her agents are making those big deals right now. Good for her. Actually, she has about 6 projects that are in various stages of production, so good for her. I understand she is MAGA. I read that somewhere. Trump's pretty pleased.
Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans. That's what I wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
But aside from being registered in Florida as a Republican, Sydney Sweeney has made no public statements about her politics, and that's as it should be. I said this last week. Don't alienate half the public by running your mouth about your politics. Shut up, look good, and act. And yeah, I'd say that to a Republican or a Democrat person in Hollywood. Nobody needs to hear your personal take on January 6th or the Palestinian issue. Let other people go and step on that rake. I always say, again, it's show business. Show business. Show business. If you went into Chick-fil-A and they asked you what political party you belong to, and when you said Democrat, they took the top bun off and spit right onto your grilled cheese chicken club sandwich, they'd be out of business in a month. Maybe when the person is taking your order with the iPad, while you're waiting in a line that stretches down the street, around the corner, and ends in Burbank, meanwhile you live in Albuquerque, and I've seen them that long, that and In-N-Out. Those are the 2 spots, man. That line is forever. If he leaned into your SUV and started screaming obscenities about how you were a baby killer or something, you might not frequent Chick-fil-A anymore, no matter how tasty the spicy cool wrap is. But this is what Hollywood does. So the American Eagle ad was the biggest story of the past week because selected people on the left. Look, I've got Democrat friends. Not all of them are unhinged and wacky. But selected people on the left whose mouths work and they have a sphere of influence, so they have to tell us their wacky, unhinged opinions about things. They made it the big story of the week. MSNBC producer Hannah Holland now famously or infamously wrote a column in which she accused American Eagle and the popular actress of fueling, quote, a cultural shift towards whiteness. Seriously. In her piece titled, Sydney Sweeney's ad shows an unbridled cultural shift towards whiteness, Hannah Holland blasted the actress's look, the tone of the ad, and even the font choice. Oh, I guess it was a Nazi font. Here's a quote from the column. In the videos, Sweeney exudes a sort of vintage sexiness that caters to the male gaze. She embodies the near mythological girl next door beautiful but low maintenance, sexy femininity that dominated media in the 1990s and early 2000s. Together, the campaign feels regressive and not retro, offensive and not cheeky. The advertisement, the choice of Sweeney as the sole face of it, and the internet's reaction reflect an unbridled cultural shift towards whiteness, conservatism, and capitalist exploitation. You cannot make this up. She accuses American Eagle of promoting white supremacy and Nazi propaganda. by casting a white actress and using a wordplay joke comparing jeans to jeans. The MSNBC producer also complained that young women are being radical. Oh, I can't even get through this quote. Quote, young women are being radicalized through so-called clean skincare and healthy eating. What? So washing your face and drinking water is Nazi now? What? Oh my gosh. The producer claimed, quote, popular American culture is indisputably becoming more puritanical and more conservative. If that's true, maybe it's because people are tired of being told that everything they like is secretly racist. Really? Seriously. Meanwhile, American Eagle stock went up when the campaign dropped. So maybe people don't really care what Hannah over at MSNBC thinks. American Eagle's official statement, the brand insisted the campaign was simply meant to highlight genes and personal storytelling, not to promote any harmful ideology. Amazing that they had to respond to this. Good for them for not bending the knee, though. The denim line, by the way, the Sydney jean, includes a butterfly motif supporting domestic violence awareness, with proceeds benefiting Crisis Text Line. But, you know, Hannah at MSNBC is not going to tell you that part. So American Eagle is racist and the Nazis are coming and eugenics. Also from the same people that scream Free Palestine and from the river to the sea. Go Hamas. Give me an H, give me an A, give me an S. Oh, and let's also give money to and champion Margaret Sanger's Planned Parenthood, disproportionately killing black babies since 1916. Just hypocrisy is just baked into the cake. There's something else going on here, though, in my opinion. Overall, this is part of the left's war on truth, or should I say, Satan's war on truth. And the reason that I say Satan is because he is the originator of lies, going all the way back to the Garden of Eden, when Satan asked Eve, did God really say that in the day you eat of the fruit, you shall die? And notice that the left has been working so hard in recent years to flip everything, to blur the lines of what is true, to blur the lines of what is good, of what is normal. They've been working to make perversion normal and making normal perverse. Now, classic example of this, remember, was the whole J.D. Vance normal American life was the abnormal. Remember that during the campaign last year? Kamala Harris and senior Democrats repeatedly used the word in press releases and speeches, branding Vance as weird because of his stances on abortion and comments about childless cat ladies. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz called Trump and Vance, quote, just weird on MSNBC, in a line amplified by the Democratic Governors Association. Strategy insiders described the message as resonant and emotionally effective. Yeah, it really worked out well, didn't it? The word weird is the best we've got. I think it's very potent and effective. Sure was. That worked out real good for you. The left tries to normalize weird and label standards of morality as weird. They like to brand anything that's Americana as racist. Anything retro as being, they're going to put y'all back in chains. And they've been doing it with beauty standards as well. You know, the big push is to make being overweight sexy, to redefine what is sexy. And so that's what they're doing here with American Eagle and Sydney Sweeney. How dare a woman be fit and attractive? And how dare men find her hot? And J.D. Vance weighed in on this thing, by the way. VP J.D. Vance, or as I call him, MVP Vance, said hilariously that the left should keep on calling anyone who likes the ad a Nazi. Quote, That's how you're going to win the midterms. My advice to the Democrats is continue to tell everybody who thinks Sydney Sweeney is attractive is a Nazi. He said this on a podcast last week. You have like a normal, all-American, beautiful girl doing a normal jeans ad. They're trying to sell jeans to kids in America, and you've managed to be so unhinged over this thing. Did you learn nothing from the November 2024 election? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They just keep doubling down. The lesson they've apparently taken is we're going to attack people as Nazis for thinking that Sydney Sweeney is beautiful. By the way, this is how the Democrats will win back young men, by attacking all the smoking hot white girls. Although the left has their own supermodels. I mean, Jasmine Crockett, good-looking woman. AOC, arguably attractive, little wide-eyed. They're Democrat supermodels, but where do they fall on the crazy hot matrix? Probably below the line.
A girl is allowed to be crazy, as long as she is equally hot. Thus, if she's this crazy, she has to be this hot. If she's this crazy, she has to be this hot.
The left is always scared that their propaganda efforts will be counteracted or pushed back against. So, I mean, listen, I don't know about you, but everywhere I look, I see moving away from whiteness in advertising. I cannot help but notice that the trend in recent years is that every family in TV ads is not white and oftentimes mixed race marriage. You know, black father, white mother, black mother, white father. And there's nothing wrong with that. But is every family in America mixed race? Most of the people in the ads now are either black, Hispanic, Asian, or at minimum, ethnically vague. And there'll be a white guy in the ads, but if you watch, he's the foil, he's the fool, he's the geek, he's the butt of the joke. And also in ads now, have you noticed this? Black men are doing the laundry in America. Does this match reality? I would love to survey married black men in America. Are you really doing the laundry at your house? Are you really the one swiffering the kitchen floor while dancing around in your stocking feet to cha-cha music? I don't know. Maybe I'm being reverse racist, but I can't imagine a majority of black men are doing all the housework now, like TV implies. And they're not just doing the laundry. They're weirdly sniffing the laundry. They're weirdly inhaling the laundry. What are you getting a buzz off of it?
Ever since I switched to New Gain Super Flings, my husband, who is black by the way, can't stop doing the laundry, and he can't stop sniffing it. Something amazing is going on, Gain.
Well, that's because New Gain Super Flings is now infused with THC.
You mean my clothes are soaking in marijuana?
Yep, your husband is getting high off that towel.
He's getting blazed off of my blazer?
He's catching a buzz from that sweater fuzz. New Gain, now infused with THC, so your man will always be down to do all the laundry for you.
I got it, baby. I got it. Why don't you go sit down and watch Jenny in Georgia? I got this.
Gain, now infused with THC for that scent he can't stop sniffing. New Gain, no pain.
It's Mark Mosley Show.
Welcome back. It's Mark Mosley Show. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Mark Mosley. Would you please give my show a like or a thumbs up or leave a comment or leave a review? I need you to do that for me so that we can increase the reach of this podcast. Thank you so much in advance for doing that. The left is losing their minds over this Trump $1,000 baby account. And then the other day, the Secretary of the Treasury, Bessent, said the quiet part out loud. He said the quiet part out loud. That was the phrase that all the media used. He said the quiet part out loud. Thanks, Ron Burgundy. They're going to do away with Social Security. Because Besant said something about this idea leading to a plan to partially privatize Social Security. So now, once again, like so many times before, Republicans are going to push grandma off a cliff. Meanwhile, we learned that the $1,000 baby account, and this is kind of hilarious, it was originally a Democrat idea. Yeah. In 2008, Hillary Clinton casually proposed giving every newborn a $5,000 account. It never became formal policy and was swiftly withdrawn after criticism. In 2018 and later, Cory Booker and Ayanna Pressley introduced the American Opportunity Accounts Act, offering $1,000 at birth, plus income-based annual contributions, redeemable at age 18 for productive uses like education or home buying, which, by the way, these are much more fiscally sound ideas than just throwing tax money at something. Now, none of these ever happened, even though they were great ideas. The goal was to reduce income inequality, which is something that the left is a really big fan of, but they can't get out of their own way. They're like the two buttons meme. You know, the guy's sweating over the two buttons, and one button says, help minorities succeed in America, and the other button says, hold on to political power. They cannot make that choice. That's probably why they're so mad. They didn't do it, and now Trump is not only taking the credit, he's going to, over time, erode their power base. And to add insult to injury, he's calling them MAGA accounts. Yeah, Trump's just doing it. Well, we have a king now. And that's the way Congress wants it. Don't let them fool you. Yeah, they'll complain all day long about the stuff that Trump's doing and that he can't do it. So then why don't you do it? No. They don't want to solve problems. They want to campaign off the problems. They want to fundraise off the problems. Trump doesn't need the money, so he gets to just do stuff. They want a king. We have a Congress that does, as you know, I like to call them America's George Costanza. That joke just gets funnier every week. It actually gets funnier every week because it becomes more true with every passing week. As George would say, that is my idea of commodity. But the left has been saying that Republicans are going to end Social Security my entire life. And that's not hyperbole. I will prove it to you. You're like, oh, Mark, you're full of it. No. Maybe you're new around here, but I've been on this planet a long time. If you don't believe me, here we go. The 1980 presidential campaign, the narrative, Reagan will gut Social Security. Democrats and labor unions warned that Reagan's budget-cutting and small government agenda would put Social Security, Medicare, and other entitlements in danger. Danger! Major newspapers and TV networks amplified concerns, especially when Reagan proposed reducing cost of living adjustments, or COLAs. My administration floated the ideas of delaying retirement age or restructuring benefits. He made comments about young people not expecting to see Social Security in the future. But example headlines and themes: Reagan budget threatens safety net for elderly. Senior citizens march to protest cuts. Reagan's war on the welfare state. 1980, 45 years ago, 23 election cycles ago. Have Republicans ever gotten rid of Social Security? Bush tried to do something about it back in 2005. Something else you Gen Z kids probably don't remember. And he was immediately set upon by the media for, again, trying to kill grandma. Bush is just going to kill your sweet Nana. Bush argued, again, that Social Security was on an unsustainable path due to demographics.
something. People living longer, fewer workers paying into the system, and a growing retiree population. He cited projections that the Social Security Trust Fund would face a shortfall by 2041, risking benefit cuts unless reformed. The centerpiece of his plan was allowing workers to divert a portion of their Social Security payroll taxes into private investment accounts. Now, these accounts would be individually controlled, letting workers invest in approved stock and bond funds. Bush framed private accounts as empowering individuals to own their retirement savings rather than relying on government-managed benefits. He argued this could yield higher returns than Social Security's traditional system, especially for younger workers, and allow wealth to be passed to heirs. Well, we can't have that in America, can we? The plan was pitched as voluntary. You didn't have to do it, giving workers the option to stay in traditional Social Security or opt for private accounts. Bush emphasized personal choice, appealing to younger Americans who already distrusted the Social Security system. Critics argued private accounts would expose retirees to market risks, increase federal debt, and undermine the program's social safety net. Public support waned, with polls showing only 25 to 35% approval for the plan. By mid-2005, the proposal stalled in Congress and was effectively abandoned. Meanwhile, the average rate of return after inflation on Social Security contributions typically falls in the range of 2 to 4% annually. If you just play the S&P 500, you're going to get 7%. That's massive. That's a huge, you're talking about more than double your money. Capital One pays better than Social Security. And by the way, the more you earn over your lifetime, the lower your rate of return from Social Security, because it's a progressive system. Social Security benefit formula replaces a higher percentage of income for lower earners than for higher earners. So, socialism. Someone with a low lifetime earnings might get back 50 to 70% of their working income in retirement, while high earners may only get 20 to 30%. So the harder I work, the less I benefit. That's fair, isn't it? Hey, Mark, you were successful. Now we're going to punish you when you're old and could use the money. Well, I love the MAGA baby accounts, and I can't wait for Trump to go further. What I really want him to do is the $5,000 bonus for having a kid that he proposed a while back. And that would also only go to American citizens. And of course, the left is not going to make a peep about it because the Great Replacement theory, that's just a wild right-wing conspiracy theory, isn't it? Do it. Do the MAGA baby accounts. Babies. We need babies. We need a lot of babies, people. America's population is growing so very slowly. It's moving slower than an MMA match between Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell. Come on, man.
How about they?
Very boring, very painful to watch. We're talking too slow, so I'm proposing a $5,000 tax credit for married couples to have a baby right now, very quickly. We're calling it the Trump Baby Bump. That's right. Help us grow the country and we'll give you $5,000 cash. But that's not all. RFK, tell them what else they get.
We also pledge that your new baby will get fewer untested vaccines.
So they don't come out of the womb all screwed up. You're expecting Gerber and you get Gollum, and it's not pretty. But wait, there's more. Tell him, Elon.
Only babies will be entered into a free lottery, and when they grow up, some will win a free trip to live on Mars.
So go to TrumpBabyBump.gov. Act now, and I'll throw in this Trump Baby Bump starter kit, a plate of oysters, a bottle of wine, and a Marvin Gaye CD. Works every time. So have Congress. Have a closed-door session, filibuster till sunrise, and let's make America great again.
It's Mark Mosley Show. Follow Mark on X, Instagram, and Facebook at Mark Mosley. And subscribe for new episodes weekly on your favorite podcast platform.
Mark Mosley Show is brought to you by the City of Cincinnati Council on Tourism. Come for the chili, stay for the severe beating. Come see the Reds at Great American Ballpark and have your head slammed into the pavement just outside. Yes, Cincinnati, the Paris of America. Visit at your own risk. I would apologize to the good people of Cincinnati, but what are you guys doing? Some of your politicians deserve to be dragged out into the street and then wished a good day. Have a good day. You go on your way now. Your mayor was asked if he's met with the victims of the brutal beating, and he says he can't meet with every victim of crime in the city.
We have violent crime like every other major city across the nation that requires our attention and our bandwidth. And so I don't traditionally meet or speak to every victim of violent crime in our city, and that's consistent with my approach today.
That guy should be recalled and replaced just on the basis of not understanding a simple concept like, that's a bad look. Public relations, perceptions, anyone? It's not just what you do, it's how it looks to the public. I mean, we are talking about a week-long national news story here. Is he afraid to visit the white victims and therefore be perceived as a guy that wears American Eagle jeans, I guess? A Sydney Sweeney fan? What a twisted world we live in. So get him out of there. And there's a city councilwoman named Victoria Parks, and she wrote on X that, quote, they begged for that beatdown. I am grateful for the whole story. Another city councilman tried to blame society, the media, and social media for all the coverage.
So when you continuously run a loop where you have national leaders that are speaking irresponsible, showing black and white people trying to knock each other's heads off, what role do you play, media, in continually showing that level of violence?
Bring back the stockades and the pillories, not for the people that beat those folks down, for the politicians who excuse it, who downplay brutality, like, well, that's the price you pay for living in the big city. That's not a great pitch, guys. That should not be the official slogan of Major City USA. And even the police chief, who should know better, who should be on the side of law and order, has downplayed the attack. She's being sued by her own department for a bias against white lieutenants, even though she herself is a white woman. She's also blaming the media for showing selectively edited footage that doesn't tell the whole story. Oh, okay, you mean like the media's been doing since the invention of the media. At minimum, maybe these people could just stop talking. Just shut up. This is not your 15 minutes of fame. This ain't it. Please, just stop talking.
I don't often miss Roy, but I can tell you one thing. I wish someone had flashed me when I was with Roy, because that would have been the ass-kicking of the year. Especially if it had been Jim. He would not have wanted me to have seen Jim's... I am saying a lot of things.
Well, EV sales in California are stalling out, or maybe running out of juice, because electric vehicles don't stall out. The latest is EV sales in California are flat. And California has this grand plan to be all electric by 2035. They want to phase out the sale of new gas-powered vehicles as outlined in the Advanced Clean Cars, or ACC, which is pronounced
Oh, he's just yakking on a bone. He got it up.
The regulations aim to transition the state's new vehicle market to 100% zero-emission vehicles, such as electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids. It was overturned by Congress, by the way, a couple of months back. The Senate has voted to block it, and President Trump will sign that, blocking it. However, Gavin Newsom and state officials have vowed to challenge this repeal. But why attack a sector of the California economy like this when we're already what is it, $60 billion in debt in California? And California on its own represents 11% of the total U.S. car market. Don't you think that this is going to have an impact on our economy? Why demonize the combustion engine this way? In California, you can kill your 24-week-old fetus. Recently, a preemie born at 21 weeks was saved. I keep saying medical technology is on a collision course with the right to choose. Just saying. In California, you can cut your daughter's breasts off. An adult male can perform sex acts with a minor. An MS-13 gang member can hide out in the state and be shielded from being discovered by ICE. But the horrors of gas-powered vehicles, that's got to stop. Do you not imagine that this will have an effect on car dealerships in the state? I asked Grok what he or she thought about what the impact the gas-powered ban will have on the local mom-and-pop car lot. It says, by the way, I think Grok should sound like Kronk. So whenever I quote Grok on this show, it's going to sound like Kronk. Here we go. This is what Grok says. California's plan to ban new gas-powered vehicle sales by 2035, if reinstated, could lead to some automobile dealership closures, particularly among smaller, less adaptable dealerships in rural areas or those reliant on gas vehicle service revenue. So EV sales are lagging behind the plan. So we're going to have some new ideas for how to boost them. I'm here to help. Here are my top 7, because we ran out of time to think of 10. I was late getting the podcast done this week. Top 7. We don't have 10. We got 7 for you. Is that good enough? Top 7 ideas for how to boost EV sales. Here we go. Number 7. Actually, this one sounds like something Carson would have said. A failed actress from L.A. will ride in your passenger seat with the window rolled down. Just because she's a failed actress doesn't mean she's not hot and will get you lots of attention. Number 6, buy an electric vehicle and we'll throw in a new gas-powered car or truck at no extra charge. Number 5, if you buy an EV right now, it comes with a very specific self-driving mode. When you get in the car and start it up, it automatically and immediately drives you out of the apocalyptic, demon-ridden hellscape that is the state of California. Number 4, new EV models now come with a backseat that folds into a bed for when, in order to afford your electric vehicle, you have to live in your electric vehicle. Number 3, Teslas now come with realistic-looking spray-painted swastika stickers that you can slap on your vehicle, meaning your Tesla is less likely to be spray-painted with a real swastika if it looks like somebody's already done it. Number 2, a very California perk, every electric vehicle is now also its own taco truck. Yes, drive the new Chevy Lonchera EV. And finally, the number 1 idea to boost EV sales in California. Number 1, Gavin Newsom will come over and wash it for you every weekend. Bonus perk, Newsom, shirtless. I'm Mark Mosley. I'm coming back with our wrap-up of the show, as we do every week, the Doofus of the Week. And I love this story. Stick around. It's Mark Mosley Show. Thank you so much for your support. Please continue to share this show with a friend. Share it with 10 friends. Share it with all of your friends. It's time for our Doofus of the Week. There are a lot of dumb people out there, folks. I know some myself. I had neighbors who took the batteries out of their carbon monoxide detector because it kept beeping all the time. Here's this week's Doofus of the Week. Chuck E. Cheese has been arrested. On July 23rd, 2025, at a Chuck E. Cheese location in Tallahassee, Florida. Had to be Florida, didn't it? I used to live there. I got a lot of friends in Florida. Please, no offense, guys. Love you. Love the food. Love the music. Love the people. Please get me out of California. Thank you. In Tallahassee, Florida, a 41-year-old employee named Jermel Jones was arrested while wearing the full Chuck E. Cheese mascot costume. Jarrell was accused of using a stolen debit card to make unauthorized purchases totaling about $105 at various spots like a smoke shop, a Whataburger, and a Time Saver from early July through the 22nd. A customer from a June 28th birthday party at that location recognized their card activity on surveillance footage and alerted police. Officers arrived at the restaurant mid-shift, spotted Jarrell Jones in full costume. They at first attempted a discreet arrest, but Chucky resisted arrest. And when he did, they intervened publicly. One officer reportedly said, "Chucky, come with me, Chucky," placing handcuffs on him as children looked on. Oh no. Oh no. Some kid is traumatized forever. They arrested Chuck E. Cheese. A small amount of marijuana was also found on Chucky. Somebody's been eating too much of that pizza. So yeah, they perp walked him out to the car in the full costume. Of course they did. I mean, if you're that arresting officer, you are not going to take that head off. Because number one, it could traumatize the kids further. And number two, you want to be able to get that photo because that's a story you're going to be telling your grandkids about the day you arrested Chuck E. Cheese. Chucky was later booked into the Leon County Jail and released on $1,000 bond. Now, I understand that while he was in lockup, Chucky got into a brawl with the Hamburglar and a separate altercation with the Little Caesars guy over which of them actually has the worst pizza. Further, Chucky was represented in court by Foghorn Leghorn from Six Flags, who told the judge, "My client is being railroaded. I say railroaded, that is. Why, he's innocent, I tell you. Pay attention, Judge. You're looking at me, but you're not listening to me." In the end, Chucky had his $1,000 bond paid using 30 million Chuck E. Cheese prize tickets. That's the exchange rate. $1,000 is equal to 30 million prize tickets. Thanks for listening to the show. We'll be back next week with more political satire. It's actually real, all too real, frighteningly real. Until then, may God bless you with health, joy, and wisdom.